Welcome to the Layman Seminary. I couldn't sleep and I was bored, so I thought, hey, there's no streams going on right now from that I usually join. So I was like, you know what, I'll do one myself. And so here we are. So yeah, this is an open mic with a free gracer, you know. So let's see what happens here. Anyone out there? Everyone's asleep. This was not planned, so no telling. I got my chat here. Well, this is going to be really embarrassing if nobody shows up. There's one person watching. I wonder if that one person is me. So, yeah. All right. Well, I guess I'll open up my Logos, wake it up. And so I guess I'll talk about something until somebody else comes in here. Recently I did a video talking about a sociological analysis of particular YouTubers. No reason for me to mention their names. Y'all can see it in the video. Hey Doki, how are you? Is there anything you want to talk about? Well, there's two people here, so that's at least me and Doki. So is there anything you want to talk about? I couldn't sleep. You know, Praise wasn't doing a stream, so I thought I'd just jump on and surprise people. I know I'm a small YouTube channel, so I don't really expect much activity, but we'll see what happens. Okay, you're pretty good. Cool. Yeah, so one thing I've been thinking about is that there's some big YouTubers that view other people that are trying to eat off of them as parasites. And I was like, that's not really how to be looking at the YouTube. And I got to pin the link to the chat. Um, I don't think that's how it should be viewing as YouTubers. We shouldn't be viewing each other as parasites trying to eat off each other. I think rather than a parasitic relationship, it's a symbiotic relationship. Let me pin this. And so, what I mean by a symbiotic relationship is uh, we're all trying to interact and engage and discuss things in a community. Dealing with topics, dealing with issues, and trying to resolve problems. And sometimes it gets crazy, especially if I'm on another stream. I myself, what I know about myself is sometimes I go too far uh, to try to reach people. You know, and so I adapt, I code switch, if you will. Because not everybody cares for the nerd, that I am. And so uh, I rap, I relate to people in other types of ways, but I'm a little bit of a class clown too. So you got that as well. But yeah, there's the link. So if anybody's going to come in, like I said, I didn't let anybody know I was going live. So I wouldn't be surprised if no one shows up. Because if no one shows up, I'm still going to blow up. Not going to get sick in my stomach and even have to throw up. I just glow up. That's what they talk about when you do the shine. So what can I say about that? I can stay here and do a rhyme. Look at me, head covered because I'm kind of cold. They're looking at me. They say, man, this dude's over 40 years old. This dude is too old to be doing this type of thing. What can it say about that? But this is my type of stream. I got all these books in the background, but can't see what's on my Logos. So don't get mad if I haul off. And SFT says yo. So what does he want to come in so I can in my flow? So SFT, you want to come in? I had to rap in order to cause SFT to appear. What is that? Is that some of that Illuminati stuff that Yam Food's always talking about? Toronto Bible, doing certain things. It's 40 degrees here right now. I thought if I showed my picture, my face and whatever, that might elicit somebody to come in. And as I tell the people in the underground Discord, and then when I'm on other channels, they can come in if they want smoke. Hi, that's our sociology open mic call. Rap, and I'll be here. Sounds good. Sounds good. Yeah. So, um, yeah, I just was seeing what happened. I was seeing what happened. If I'm rapping, will it gain any traction? He says I'm supposed to record my Galatians 5 debate Sunday with D tonight. Okay, that makes sense. Yeah. Well, Praise wasn't a live streaming, so I thought I'd do that. Hey, do me a favor, SFT. Shoot the link over to Praise on WhatsApp, and maybe he'll come in. I don't know if he will. But yeah, and Janet's taking care of some things, so she's not able. D just wanted to focus on Galatians 5. Yeah, because he thinks he got us. He thinks we don't have an argument for that. Thanks for letting him know. So yeah, really, are there no free grace challengers out there? Everybody makes videos. I've heard recently that the Kardashians are free grace. Uh, free grace is getting blamed for everything, and I tell people, look, you need to know the difference between antinomianism and free grace. I would even say you need to know the difference between hyper grace and free grace. And if no one wants to debate me, maybe one of these free grace people wants to debate. I don't know. There's 6 people watching. Any of you 6 people out there, would you like to come in? We can have a conversation, see what happens. I'm not used to running things on my own channel. I've been having to adjust to other people's channels, so maybe something can happen here. I don't know. I guess I'm not going to get challenged. Maybe I've had so many free grace debates that people are afraid of me. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe they're too scared to confront me, approach me. I don't know. Or maybe they're afraid that if they come in the stream that they'll be challenged to a formal debate. See, look, I'm trying everything. I'm trying honey. I'm trying, what is it, vinegar or whatever. I'm trying to get some kind of reaction out of y'all. Suffering from success, yeah. That's what it feels like, and that's why I've been actually challenging people in other areas, stuff I've never really formally debated before, and so maybe I it would be more of a challenge in those other areas. So let's see. Really, I mean, I guess what I could do is I can bring up one of my PowerPoints that I feel like that no one's even touched. You think people would learn from my debates. The Cobain debate was unique because of the specific issue we were dealing with, but the other debates I think people should learn from concerning at least my sociology a little bit better. And as soon as this PowerPoint opens, I think what I want to do is I want to bring up, hey Mars Hill, I anyone can come in. They just got to show their face. And of course, but so essentially, whenever I debated Lucas Curcio, as his name was, I think it was that debate. I'd have to look real quick. Wherever, let's see. Yeah, Methodist debate. I think in that debate, I gave a list of a lot of verses, or maybe it was Kelly Powers. I don't know. Let's just look at them. People always say, yeah, the Never Sleep Club. That's true. I don't know why people don't learn from the verses we give them. You know, um, we've dealt with so many verses, and people use the same arguments all the time. Okay, well, I'm waiting for that PDF to, I mean, not PDF, that PowerPoint to open. So, does anybody have a topic, a question? You know, no? What's the difference between free grace and hyper grace? Well, the way that I would put it is hyper grace doesn't believe in confession of sin, and they don't believe that God disciplines you. That's the main distinction. Alrighty. My debate stuff is opening. Oh, you know Mars Hill SFT? All right, so I'm gonna share my screen. If y'all go, oh, sorry for destroying your internal clock. um, I if someone wants to come in the chat, they can see. Just let me know that they're in the background. Let's see here, entire screen. Right. I'll go ahead and use that. Well, I don't want to hide myself. Which one do I use in? That's an interesting one. I don't think I've ever used that one. No, that one gets in the way. What is this one? No, I don't want that one. Okay, no. All right. I think I messed up. Yo, peep my flow as I let you know by letting you see the slideshow. All right, so let's see here. Maybe I have a better one than this, but my assertion in that debate was free grace is biblical because it takes promises seriously, it takes the warning passages seriously, and it has the answer for all the passages your previous opponents did not address. And I talk about the Final Destiny book. This is how Deuteronomy 28 is key to understanding passages like related to life and death. I say true biblical salvation begins when an event that sets a process into motion that God brings to completion with the event of death, rapture, resurrection. There's the chart. True biblical salvation is eternal preservation based on positional truth that cannot be reversed. No experiential truth can be conflated with positional truth. The experiential column cannot undo or disprove the positional truth column. To simplify the debate, I would usually take the experiential column for most passages as a default. This is to explore the limits of its explanatory power with each debate. Those are old slides there. Nothing really I want to talk about here. All right, so this is from First Peter. Has caused us to be born again, that be positional, who are protected by power of God through faith. That's experiential, ultimate, reserved in heaven for you. And then going into this, the salvation of your souls that relates to the walk. Hebrews 10, sinning willfully, right? Dealing with all that stuff. First John 3:16. Yeah, I'm going to be debating Sean Griffin. He's going to have a baby first. and then we'll know. But I think he needs to set up an exact date for that. So, okay, is this the one wherever I gave a lot of the passages? Or maybe that was the Kelly Powers one. Yeah, I used from Travis here. I'm just looking through here. Yeah, I got my charts. I had all this stuff. And the person tried to say I was off topic, that I was debating the wrong thing. It's like I got all this stuff here. Here, this is the Hebrews stuff. Comparisons between the book of Hebrews and the Old Testament. Deuteronomy 32 in the Old Testament. Hebrews 6 in the Old Testament. Deuteronomy 32. Oh, man. What happened to all the challenges? Let me see if I can pull up the Kelly Powers one. I think it was more recent. All right. Let's see. 2 verses 2. Dan Chapa. Yeah, we need the Kelly Powers one. Because before Cobain, I debated Kelly Powers. So yeah, I think the Kelly Powers one was the most developed presentation. Did I even not name it? Yeah, Mars Hill. I know I made it sound like he was going through labor. He might feel like that once he debates me. Let's see. Okay. There it is. Kelly Powers debate. Let's see how much stuff Kelly Powers dodged, avoided by his little accusations and gimmicks and stuff that he did. I can't even remember everything he did. You know, I kind of question his abilities in apologetics because he just treats salvation so superficially. It kind of makes you wonder, does he do that in other areas of discipline? All right. Well, I'm waiting for that other one to but I'll just scroll through these again. Let's see, what is this one? Oh, this is all my Hebrew stuff. Everybody, look, I got all these Hebrew warning passages dealt with, and yet people think, oh, they're gonna say something that we have not addressed. They're out of their mind, you know. We don't play around. We go pretty deep in this stuff. Don't get me wrong, we can always learn something, but I got the second Peter stuff here. Yeah. We need to find out about your fate. I need to open up this PowerPoint for the Kelly Powers debate. And other people, they're already up late. What can I say that I didn't set up a date? And it's taking too long for this PowerPoint to open. Okay. I guess I should have studied other channels, what they do whenever. I mean, I got content, but I just, I just need someone to trigger me, man. You know, I'm a battle rapper, or there's this one book. Some of y'all might know what fictional series it is. It's Hey Doki says Charles Gibbon, Biblical Exegesis versus the Heaven and Hell Conditional Glasses. Yeah, there was a, oh gosh, young when I read these, but have any of y'all ever heard of Terry Goodkind before? In the Spear Truth series? It was a fictional, yeah, what did you call it? Fantasy or whatever? And in it, you had two types of wizards. You had the positive wizards, like I mean, they used positive energy, and then you had negative energy, I think, and then you had this one named Richard Raw, who was a war wizard, and I always related to that character because it was he couldn't control he couldn't control his magic, if you will, like a lot of the other types of wizards and stuff. Now they're gonna call me a heretic now because I'm talking about fantasy novels. All right, let me switch to the Kelly Powers debate. Okay. Yeah, so Kelly Powers believes that an eternally preserved Christian will temporally persevere until the end of his physical life. Hey, come back. But see, the PowerPoint don't even want to put up with Kelly Powers. There it goes. Um, I believe a positionally eternally preserved person is eternally preserved even if they do not temporarily persevere. The debate is not about whether a Christian can fall away from his positional justification. The debate is whether that person always perseveres temporarily until the end of their physical life. And that's where I said what I just said in the last slide. Same thing there. Simplify the debate. That our position, right? It's not causation, it's correlation. The first 5 minutes is 5 minutes enough. Our position gives us a potential that needs to be applied in kinetic energy. The conservative free grace arguments that I mentioned. Let's see, what else? A review of opening. I said that I'm going to give a head off 4 main passages that he mentions. I'm going to deal with foundational verses, perseverance that are challenged. Then I'm going to ask what other texts there are in context and compare and contrast him versus me. Talk about sloppy language that's unguarded, exposition of the verses. Oh, no, this is, you know what this is, guys? This is Larry Helms. And I think the reason I did this is because I was showing that Larry Helms didn't deal with all this stuff. Yeah, because here I am. I was talking about the different debates. You got conditional salvationists on one side, and you got non-free grace OSAS. And so at that time, number 14 was CJ Cox, right? 15 is Kelly. Wait, I'm missing somebody. Matt Furs. Okay, Tom Murtry. He's on there too. Yeah, I can't remember. It's been a while. Right? I called out Larry Helms. I need a doctor and all that stuff. Deal with these terms, the passages. Yeah, look at all these passages I go through. I'm trying to see if I can find any of the stuff that I don't think anyone ever touched my new creation arguments. There's an argument against the phenomenological language argument. You know, I guess what I'm saying, guys, is I miss debating free grace. I mean, with PowerPoints and stuff, I've been doing it. Oh, you got a question, Marcio. What's that question, please? You got questions? We got answers. Hmm. Yeah. I don't know, guys. I guess I'm missing it. I'm working on my seminary stuff for dispensationalism class, and that class is almost wrapping up, and I got to finish my paper. Um, November 17th, I got some eschatology stuff I could go into, but yeah. Um, hmm. In free grace, is there such thing as false conversions? Depends what you mean by false conversions. Do people claim that they believe, but they're just doing it to infiltrate you? To get a business contract or something like that? Yeah, that can happen. But the problem is that most people that try to argue for false conversions are change the meaning of belief. One moment at a time is not good enough. Or they claim a certain definition for repentance and then claim that's not good enough. So they use the false conversion thing to try to make a crack so that they could drive a semi through, you know. And that semi is full of cow manure, essentially. Does that answer your question? Uh, well, guys, any other questions? Any more thoughts? I thought I'd attempt this. Uh, yep. Hey, Chris, you have a question or topic? I guess I shouldn't have labeled it open mic with free gracer because people are scared of the free gracers now. Oh, it's so lonely not having people to debate. No, I'm at work. I just thought I'd click on and listen. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry I have more to offer, but I just bored and maybe I'm missing Praise's stream. Even though it's so chaotic, I go in there and there's little challenges. Okay, so Mars Hill says some confess Christ at 20 years old and then 50 years old and never showed one fruit, interest, etc., even though works isn't the core of salvation. It doesn't indicate faith equals true conversion. Okay, so you're not familiar with my fruit argument. So I guess I can do that. So let me share this with you. All right. So what I tell people is this is when you believe the gospel, you're automatically placed in position, but you're also automatically placed in the fellowship with God. So let's just say that you're only in fellowship with God for 5 minutes. During that 5 minutes, you're showing the fruit of the Spirit. Okay. But I mean, it's technically possible to get saved for 5 seconds, watching a channel and flipping the channel and going to something else. It's possible. Um, but let's just do the 5 minutes. The thing is no matter how much time of fruit that I mention, it's not good enough for anybody else because they'll say true Christians will bear fruit. Okay, well, is 5 minutes good enough? There's necessary results there. You're automatically in fellowship with God, but God won't force you to get back into fellowship, and they always have a way to cop out. They will. So they want to make it say not a one fruit or minimum, but it's never good enough. And so usually when someone is trying to use that argument, I'm not talking about using Mars Hill, but others, they're just trying to bring an accusation against free grace. they won't accept the minimal standard, because it's a minimal standard. It doesn't work to their advantage, to their argument. They want to feel like that they're doing more than you. So you got to at least meet their standard. And they'll say, it's not our standard, it's God's standard. No, it's your perception of the God's standard, because your interpretation of scripture is not necessarily God's word. So yeah. Does that clear up anything, Mars Hill? I know people who used to confess Christ and now insult Christ and mock him in the Bible. Hard for me to believe he's saved, unfortunately. Yeah, that I know it's hard to believe, but if you think about it, a believer who's not in the Word, not renewing their mind, not around other Christians in fellowship, they're going to think and act just like a believer. An unbeliever. So, in that sense, it shouldn't be hard to believe. If we really believe that man is capable of such things, I would actually argue that more Christians would be in that state if it wasn't for the word that they're reading, if they didn't have fellowship. So, but yeah, it's bothering some, but my job is to share the promises of God and how I understand the scripture. And so I'd rather share those promises clearly and not doubt people's salvation. And just my answer is, if they believe for one moment, they're eternally secure. All right, well, I'm yawning, so you must be yawning. So anyway, thanks, guys. We attempted to do something here. Maybe we'll do it more often. Nobody came out to play, at least as far as challenge wise. Maybe because I was so late in the day. Maybe because it was so planned. But oh well. Anyway, maybe there'll be something that happens in the future. But thank y'all. God bless.